Whether you're happy about it or not, AI is now writing a significant percentage of the content that you come across online. 86% of SEO professionals have integrated it into their strategy, and interestingly, almost 2/3 of businesses say that the quality of results is better with the help of AI. So while there are plenty of cases where you'll absolutely want to write it yourself, it's very clear that AI as a tool is helping most businesses produce more and on average better content than they have in the past. So that all sounds good, but the question is, how do you actually do it? Do you just copy paste from ChatGPT? Do you need to go out and use one of these dedicated AI writing tools and pay per article? Those are both options, but in this video I'm going to be showing you a full workflow that goes step by step through the process of brainstorming and researching keywords, through to drafting and writing complete SEO articles, generating a custom thumbnail image for each article, and then even helping with some of the smaller repetitive tasks like creating a meta description, title, and category tags. Let's take a look. So in this video, I'll be using Bizway to help me create an AI workflow that creates my article for me, as well as the thumbnail image every time I give it a new keyword. So I've already created this workflow before, but just to show you how easy it is to get started, what you can do is just use this box here to just describe the process that you'd like to automate with an AI workflow. So in this case, I want a workflow that writes an SEO article based on a keyword. It should also generate a unique thumbnail, and I've given some stylistic guidance for this particular image generation step as well. Then I just click Create Workflow, and Bizway is going to generate the steps for me for this particular workflow. Okay, so there's really only 3 things that you need in order to use really any AI tool to help you with SEO. You'll need some background context, and that can either be a specific article example. So in Bizway, you can select from specific documents or background information about your business to include as the context for your AI model to work with. You'll need some instructions. So in this case, our instructions are going to be some details about the type of article that we want, as well as the image description. And lastly, you just need a way to send that message to an AI model and receive a response, or in this case, in Bizway, we're going to receive a document as your output. And if you have those 3 things, then you can really start leveraging AI to help you with your content production. In Bizway, that means including the background knowledge in this top section called the knowledge section, where we can select specific documents. In this case, I've selected the background information about my business. And I'm also going to include this SEO content example to give a more detailed example of the output, the type of article that I would like to receive. Next, we have the instructions, which we can edit and change whenever we run the workflow. So first we have our main instruction, which is going to give us the article, and that's just going to be some instructions about the type of article that we'd want, as well as the style, or perhaps some key concepts or information to include. Then we have a second step in the workflow, which is, this is a image prompt that I like to use to keep my images and thumbnails consistent across the different posts, but it's still going to give me a unique image every time. Then we have a section which lets us choose any workflow inputs that we want to include whenever we run the workflow. So in this case, we said that we want to write an article every time we give a keyword. So giving a keyword, we need a way to do that in the workflow. So if I just show you briefly, when I click Run Workflow, I have this option to add some text guidance. That's because this section is checked with the text input. If I add file upload, then every time I run the workflow, I'll also have the option to upload a file. But we're not going to need that, because in this case, every time we run the workflow, we just want to give a keyword and we want to get an article as the output. And speaking of the output, we can decide if we want to create a new document, edit an existing document in Bizway, and we can give it a category tag as well. So that's it. That's the full workflow that is going to take all of our background information, run through these instructions, and produce a new content document, which in this case is going to be an SEO article with an image, every time we give it a keyword. So I could just test this out. run the workflow. And there we go. We have our new article. We have 7 best workflow automation tools. Because I've given that background information about Bizway in the workflow knowledge section, of course, it is giving Bizway as the top. We'll see our thumbnail generated for this article with the stylistic description that we gave. So one neat thing in Bizway is you can chat directly with your assistant. You can chat with the document, ask them to brainstorm 10 more tool options. And here we've got 10 more options for automation tools related to the document that we've just written. But I want to show you a slightly more advanced workflow to give you an idea of how you can automate the entire SEO article writing process just with one workflow. So again, we're going to include the memory summary and a content example. In this case, we're going to use Bizway's loop option to loop through a list of keywords and write an article for each one. So again, we have a specific instruction for the article itself that we want to write each time. We're going to create a separate document for it, and the category of document is going to be content. And then by default, when we have a loop like this, the simplest way to do it is just to have a list input. So in this case, run the workflow, and we would give our list of article titles. We can just separate them with a comma. But I want to show you how you can actually create a step before the loop that's going to help you brainstorm relevant keywords for the week and then write the list of articles based on those keywords. So in this case, we're just going to brainstorm a list of 10 keywords related to the topic provided. So instead of the list input, we're just going to have a single text input where we're going to provide the topic for the week. It's going to brainstorm a list of 10 relevant keywords, and then based on that, it's going to help write 10 unique articles for us. But there's one more thing that I can do to help make my workflow even more useful. Instead of creating a new document or no document, what I can do is edit an existing document in my Bizway library. In this case, I'm going to edit the existing keywords table. And I can just give instructions for what to do with the existing document once you get to the end of the workflow. So in this case, I'm going to say update the keywords table by adding the new 10 keywords. And this way I'm going to have an up-to-date keywords table that's keeping track of all the articles and keywords that have been written. Look like to run this workflow every week. Now all I need to do is give a topic. In this case, let's say no code AI writing tools. That's it. That's the only topic I need to give. Click run workflow, and now it's going to generate those 10 unique keywords for us. It's going to loop through the list and write an article for each and every single one. And then it's going to edit and update my keywords table so that I have an up-to-date record of all of the articles and keywords that I've been covering so far. If I want to check up on the status of those articles as they're being written, I can just head over to the content section and I'll see this list update with my new 10 articles. So that's quite a practical tutorial for how you can start using AI to help you generate SEO content. If that's something you've been wanting to do, then hopefully you found this tutorial helpful. If you're not sure if Bizway is the right tool for you, you can try it for free for 7 days. You get 250 workflow automation runs, so that could be 250 articles for free. If you wanted to try it out, head over to bizway.io and start your free trial today. Thanks for watching.